from there on. So the next difference between private company and public company is the minimum share capital. Now this minimum share requirement, there is little changes under 2013 Act. Okay, for a private company, there is nothing like you require 5 lakhs only. There is no minimum amount which has been kept, but for public company there is a minimum of 1 lakh which is required. So even if you don't have complete money, you can raise the money from the people. You can raise the money from the people and then you can put that into business and run the business. One major thing that what people understood clearly was, when you raise the money, there are a lot of people involved. You will have government, you will have other companies involved, you will have people, public involved, and then you will have a regulatory, that is SEBI. Since you are raising the money through shares and it will be dealt in the stock exchange, so there will be SEBI involved. Now SEBI, without checking, it will never allow the company to do the public issue. So that is why that minimum capital requirement got a little changed in the new act. Okay, so that is minimum capital requirement. Now coming to statutory meeting. Now in statutory meeting, what is going to happen? Okay, in statutory meeting is the private companies need not hold a statutory meeting. Okay, so the first column what we are talking about is the private company, and then we have the public company, right? So for private company, there is no compulsion of having a statutory meeting. It can have one in a year, one in a year. But then when it comes to public company, it is compulsory to hold statutory meeting and file that report to the ROC. Now, who is this ROC? Registrar of Companies. I told you, Registrar of Companies is like one major office where all the documents or all the transactions that the company do, they will have to show it to the people, or they'll have to register or file it with the ROC. Now the full form of ROC is Registrar of Company. It is something like a temple for a company. Okay, anything good that happens, we will go to God and offer something. Anything bad that happens, we'll go to God again and request for something good to happen. So any transaction that happens in a company, it has to be filed with Registrar of Companies or ROC. And when it has to be done, there is a time limit. It has to be done within 6 months from the date of obtainment of business commencement certificate. Now for public company, you want incorporation certificate as well as you want commencement of business certificate, correct? You want two major certificates here. So once they hold the statutory meeting, okay, that statutory meeting has to be held within 6 months from the time they have received the business commencement certificate. Now let's say, for example, we are starting a new company in January. Okay, January 2021 we are starting a new company. So from now we are working towards it. Okay, there will be a lot of procedures. You will have to select a name, and then you'll have to select a place, do the construction for the company, get everything ready, and then you're going for the incorporation. Now once you do the incorporation, let's say your incorporation was done in the December last, it will be done 2020, December 2020 last week the incorporation will be done. Then let's say January 1st you will get the business commencement certificate. Now once you get the business commencement certificate, you will start running the company. You will work in the company as usual, and from January 6 months you will have to calculate Jan, Feb, March, April, May, June. So it says within 6 months. So within June you are supposed to hold one statutory meeting for the first time. Okay, first time it has to be within 6 months. After that you can do it yearly once. Only for the first time it will be 6 months, within 6 months, which is compulsory. After this it can be for yearly once. Now why do they do the statutory meeting? Now, public company can issue shares to the outside public. Now, when they issue shares to the outside public, the shareholders are the owners of the company. Now, in such case, company every now and then should meet the shareholders and they have to give them or report to them what all has been happening in the company. Let's say for the first 6 months, you'll have lot of changes. Because you're starting a new company, you should get a proper management, you should get proper employees, you should have proper procedures, all the system has to be set up. So first 6 months are very crucial for any company. It doesn't talk about profit or loss. Okay, it talks about the system that it has been followed in the company and how are we following all of the ethics and the system or the rules set out to us. So that is why in the first 6 months you meet the public company will compulsorily has to meet and file a report saying, see, we have met with the shareholders and they have said okay for all of this and now I am reporting it to you through ROC. So that is your statutory meeting. Then coming to the share warrant. Okay. Now share warrant is something which is very much related to your share, equity share or the preference share, whatever they give it to you. Okay. Or whatever you subscribe to the company. Now this share warrant, it is a document which is again given by the company. But here what will happen? It is like a negotiable instrument. Now, if you take a common share, equity share, if that equity share is in the name of you people, okay, now let's take for example, if the equity share is in name of me, okay, if equity share is in my name, then my name will be written on the share certificate. Okay, my name will be written on the share certificate. But when it comes to share warrant, it is like a bearer check. Now, bearer check means it will not have a specific name. Okay, it will not have a specific name. It will be written as bearer share certificate. Bearer share certificate, which means if I have the share certificate, I am the owner of shares. If you have the share certificate, you are the owner of shares. If let's say A has the certificate, A has the share warrant. Now A will be holder of the shares. Now after 2 months, A will sell the shares to B. Now B is having the certificate. So B is the bearer of shares, or B is the person who is having that share. So just by transferring the share certificate, you will be able to have the shares in your name or with you. But your name specifically will not be written on the share certificate. So that is known as share warrant. The public company cannot issue the share warrant. Why it cannot issue share warrant? Because it is not issuing the shares to the public outside. The normal common people cannot buy the private company shares. So that is why it cannot issue the share warrant. But on the contrary, the public companies can issue the share warrant. So that will be your point number 12. Now coming to the next point, point number 13, that is quorum. Now quorum means number of people who are present in a meeting. Okay, number of people who are present in a meeting is called as quorum. Now for a quorum to function, you will have certain rules to follow. That is, for a private company, minimum 2 members must be present. In private company meeting, any meeting that they do, minimum 2 people. And those 2 people either can be a director or a promoter, because shareholders are very few there. So whatever decisions are done, it is done between the board of directors and the owners there. So minimum 2 people is compulsory when they do the or conduct the meeting. The same thing when it comes to the public company. Here minimum of 5 members is compulsory. And according to Companies Act, there is also a definition which talks about members. Now, who are these members? Members can be people who are working in company, not the employees. Okay, not the employees. I'm talking about the management level. Okay, it can be shareholders. It can be shareholders of the company, and it can be ex-employees, means people who are not currently working here, but they were working in the company before. It can be ex-employees, but it cannot be direct employees to be part of the quorum. Even if, see, they can attend the meeting, but they are not considered as the members to form the quorum. To explain it in much easier term, let's say, for example, we have a class meeting. Okay, BBA third semester has a class meeting, and let's say there is one class representative of the class. Let's say there is one class rep. Now, in every meeting that we do, a class teacher or the mentor and the class rep is compulsory to be attending the meeting. But one student, if he or she misses also, it is no problem. Okay, but they are supposed to, the class teacher and the class rep has to always attend every meeting. Okay, now in this meeting, let's say now we are conducting a meeting. Now let's say I am the class teacher. Okay, and out of you, let's say Meghana is the class rep. It's just an example again. Okay, we are not putting any class reps here. Let's say Meghana is a class rep. Now, apart from Meghana, there are other 4 of you in the class. There are other 4 of you in the class. So even the other 4 of you in the class also, it is compulsory for me and Meghana to attend every meeting. So you people, if 1 or 2 just misses out here and there also, you will get the updates, but it is not compulsory to attend the meeting. So what will form the quorum? It will be the 2 people who are compulsory to attend. Similarly, if it is a public company. Okay, so we have started a public company, and here let's say Nisha has started the public company. Now when Nisha has started the public company, she has all the other 4 of them or 5 of them as the members, shareholders. So all the other 5 of them, or let's say including Nisha, it is supposed to be 5. So all the 5 of them must be present. That is the minimum amount. Please be careful. It is the minimum number of members. So once, if 5 members are not there, if 5 members and 2 members are not there, they'll have to postpone the meeting for the next week or next month. That is what the Companies Act will say. You either have to say the proper date when it will happen. If you don't say the date, then it will be done next week on the same date, same time. That is what will happen in the meeting. So that is quorum. Now coming to the last point, managerial remuneration. So to calculate the salary for the people, okay, to calculate the salary for the management people, there are a lot of ways where we will be considering them. So firstly, under private company, it says there are no restrictions of calculating managerial remuneration. But under public company, since it is lot of involvement of outside people and public are there, so total managerial remuneration should not be more than 11% of the net profit. I hope you have solved such questions where you will have to calculate net profit, and then you will have to add and subtract few of the points and then calculate 11% on that net profit. So that will be the managerial remuneration. This remuneration or salary is given to the managerial set of the company. That might be directors, promoters. Now in directors, you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 directors, board of directors. All those people come under managerial remuneration. Clear? Understood till here?
Yes, ma'am.
Any doubts?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay, fine. Okay, I got 3 answers. How about Nisha and Nikita? Did you both of you understood?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. So let's continue. Now that was your difference between. Now coming to the major part of the chapter, that is formation of a company. How the company is formed. There are lot of ways or rules to be followed. But now slowly India being a developing country, we are not yet developed, okay, completely. So we are being a developing country, we will have to note a lot of things when it comes to formation of company, starting a company in India and all that. So they have reduced. Before there were even more steps, even more complications and more rules which were supposed to be followed, and now slowly they have reduced that number of rules and the amount of, you know how they are supposed to do the company and what is the minimum number of documents that they have to have and all that. So let us understand what is this formation of a company. Now, company formation is the term for the process of incorporation of business. It's sometimes called as company registration. So it's nothing but if you register your company, then it is called as company formation. Then in the formation of public limited company, mainly 4 stages are involved. Okay, we are talking about public limited company. Why public limited company? Because we are giving the shares to outsiders, and where normal general public can come and take the shares or buy the shares. So that is why public limited company mainly have 4 stages involved. What are the 4 stages? Promotion, incorporation, capital subscription, and commencement of business or trading certificate. First will be promotion of the company. Okay, this is for public limited company. There are 4 stages. But when it comes to private company, so in the formation of private company, only the first 2 stages will be there, and you will see the explanation in the first 2 stages. Okay, so let us see what is promotion. Promotion is a term used for denoting the preliminary steps taken for the purpose of registration and flotation of a company. The person who assumed the task of promotion is called promoters, and it has 4 stages. So the initial preparation, it is something like, let's say you are trying to bake a cake. Okay, when you're trying to bake a cake, you should first go and get the ingredients. You should purchase the ingredients, the baking soda, the vanilla essence, the oil that you need, or if you want a buttermilk, or if you're doing it with the biscuits, then you require biscuits, or you want chocolate powder, maida or wheat, whatever that you want, sugar. You are going and getting the ingredients, you're buying the ingredients. So that is called as promotion stage. So you're just making things ready first. So here it will be promotion. And this has 4 stages. Discovery of an idea. First, you should understand what type of business you want to do. You would see a successful business in your area and think, okay, I'll start a boutique tomorrow. But to start a boutique, you should first check, is starting a boutique profitable for me? How much investment should I do? Okay, so you should have a list of ideas, and you should go on and try a minimum of 5 of them before you start a business. That is the minimum. There are people who have tried hundreds and 200, 150 of ideas, and lastly some one thing would have clicked to them. Okay, so discovery of idea. First you should understand your potential, where you are good at, what are you good, what are you trying to do in life. Okay, so do you just want to go and work with under someone, or you want to start a business? In that business, how do you want to do that? See, businesses again have so many types. You have businesses who directly start and run for a longer period of time, and then there are business who do job works. Job work means, now I will say you something, you'll do the work for me and I will pay you. Okay, and then you have consultancies. Even for hiring and all that also, you have lot of job consultancy services, right? So like that, there are a lot of options which you have in front of you. So since there are so many options, there is distraction. So that is why you are supposed to understand and discover what is good for you, what is best, where you will be able to put 100% effort and get satisfaction. So that is discovery of an idea. Now, in this discovery of an idea, you should also make some rough calculations of the investment and also how much you are ready to spend on the business. Okay, all that will be your discovery of an idea. Next, coming to detail investigation. Once you think, okay, this idea is going to click. Let's say we are starting up a stall where we will be giving fast food. Okay, all fast food. It's a fast food center, but in a very different and hygienic way. Now we are starting it after COVID. Now, what are the precautions we have to take, and what is the best way that we can attract people? So we will contact few marketing experts. We will say them, okay, I want to start a business like this, give me some ideas. What is the best way to do? Where is the best way to do? Instead of just opening it in a too much of a residential place where no one is there, if you start up the same stall in the main road, you can attract more people. So which is the place, what is the location of the store, and what is the size? Is it a very big store, or is it a small store, or do you want a medium store to start? Okay, and how much is the rent for that place? What are the requirements? I need a table, I need chair, I need a kitchen setup, I need refrigerator, oven. Okay, there are a lot of things that we are supposed to think and understand about. So all that will be in the detailed investigation. And if I am, suppose I am trying to get a loan. Now loan, I have to go and check in bank. Now in bank, do they give me the loan I require or not? And for that loan, what are the procedures? All that is supposed to be checked upon. That is for a business. Now when, let's say we are starting a let's say sanitizer manufacturing company. Okay, so let's say we have a sanitizer in the name of RMS sanitizer company. Now here what will happen, we will have to check if people will give us money, or if people will buy our shares. So that also you have to check with the chartered accountant, hire a company secretary where you can get all these documentation done 100%. So that will be your detailed investigation. And then assembling. Now everything is there. For baking a cake, you have bought all the ingredients and every ingredient is ready. So now you have to assemble. Assemble is, you're supposed to just mix all the ingredients together, put all the ingredients in a perfect format or perfect what do you say, measurements. Now after putting it in all the perfect measurements, it means your company is almost ready to start. We have not started it yet. We are still getting ready for the starting. So assembling means, after all the investigation and decisions, you will say, you will fix on to one idea and say, yes, I'm gonna do this. Okay, for by then you will have all the required documentation. So you will go to the next step of incorporation. Okay, you'll go to the next step of incorporation. So that is your step number 2. So step number 1 was, okay, step number 1 was promotion. Now in that promotion, you will have to discover an idea that you want to invest, and then you will have to have a detailed investigation about the idea, what, where, when, all WH questions has to be answered, and then you are supposed to assemble all that, whatever you have got, and then that will be the end of the first stage, that is promotion. Everybody understood promotion?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now going on to the next part, that is incorporation or registration of a company. Now we have an idea. We are very clear with what we want to do. We have started everything. Now we have to inform government that I'm starting a company. So that is your incorporation of a company. Okay. So in this approval of proposed name of the company, we have made the list of company names, that is 10 names, and we will be giving it to ROC, that is Registrar of Companies. So these registrar or ROC, what they will do is they will check the names. It is something like your username for the Gmail or Yahoo Mail or any login ID. So sometimes the username will not be available because it would have already been used by somebody else. Fine. So the same thing will happen in the company names also. So the registrar of company is gonna check if that name is already existing or if it's a new name. So that is why they ask the company owners to give a list of names and not only 1 or 2 names. Now, once they give the list of names, the ROC is going to sit and check all that, and then he will give you 1 or 2 names which is available. Let's say out of 10 names, 6 names were already existing and 4 names were available. So 6 names, we cannot do anything. We cannot keep that names at all. Now 4 names were available. Now out of 4 names, I have to select 1 name and keep that to my company. Because name of the company is very, very important. It will be present in the incorporation certificate, MOA, AOA, letterheads, and then whatever marketing we do, everywhere it will be mentioned. So that is why you will have to be very careful in choosing the name of the company. It has to be attractive. It has to be something, if it's not relating to the product also, but it should have some attraction or easy way for the people to remember. So that will be the first procedure. Now, there are certain particular formats where you have to select the name and give it to the ROC. Now, what is that format? Form number 1A, along with 100 rupees if you give to the ROC, they will usually give that name that is selected. On getting the available name, you can decide. Now I told out of 10 names, 4 names are available. In this 4 name, you can decide 1 as the name of the company. Okay, so that is your first step, that is approval of proposed name and name of the company. Okay, before all of these were done manually. You are supposed to run to registrar every now and then, and you will have to check which name is available. 2-3 times you will have to send the list, check, okay, this name is available, that name is available. Because some of them will have the sentiment on names, numerology and all that. So they'll have to check. They usually do all that things. Okay, ROC will not believe in numerology and all, but the owners may believe, and they will have to, they want a particular name, and so they would like to check. So that is first step. Now the second step in incorporation is documents to be filed for registration. Okay, out of the documents, first one is selecting the name and approving the name, not only selecting. I can say, see, I want to start BBA Public Limited. but that name would not be available. Okay, now I will say, okay, RMS BBA Public Limited. Now, since RMS is added, they will think, okay, it's a unique name. So it is available. Okay, approved. If you're okay, we will approve the name. So it is not only availability, it is also approval of the name. Now, once that is done, what are the other documents? MOA, AOA, and list of directors. These are the documents. Then continued with consent of the directors, statutory declaration. We will see what is that. Then notices of addresses of registered office. Where are we starting the office that we have to give? A letter of authority for making necessary conditions in memorandum and articles. Letter of registrar of companies about the availability of name. Okay, lastly, the whatever list that they had provided, that also we will give back. So first is MOA and AOA. These are compulsory documents, and these MOA, AOA will talk about what the company is going to do. Okay, what is the business of the company and how the company is going to behave in the market